Welcome to Talking with Famous People. My name is host Eric, and we are resuming our Socionics doubleheader for INFP and ENFP as friends with Coach Abraham here, who asked the question, why are all my friends ENFPs and INFPs? Well, INFP, as we said, was the illusory type, and I was just about to get some feedback on that from Coach Abe when I discovered I had an audio problem. So, Abe, I've got the audio fixed. Can you please address that question?
Uh, Hold on. Let me erase this real quick. My volume is down real quick. Let me just interject. Crystal, which is one of my friends, is an ENFP. Carlos, which is one of my friends, is an INFP. Raymond, which is one of my friends, was an ENFP or an INFP, one of those two. My elementary school best friend is an ENFP. That is funny to me, at least. I don't know. Which is why I asked the question. So, how is it that I get along better with E or INFPs or whatever? But what was your question that you asked? I couldn't hear it because I had the volume down.
Oh, I just wanted to know if you had anything to add about what I said before about INFPs. Let's go ahead and move on to ENFPs now, rather than delay any further in that. So the ENFP and the ENFJ have the following cognitive function stack. ENFJ, Abraham, to recap for those who don't remember, extroverted feeling in the dominant slot. He's primarily concerned with his presentation to others. Second, he's got introverted intuition. He takes his truths as whole truths. He determines whole truths as his primary tool function in making decisions about other people's emotions. So this might lead on occasion for the ENFJ to reduce a complex set of motivations into an emotional reality. But I think that one thing that somebody who's got FE in the dominant slot does is they sort of convert the complex, thought-driven positions of a thinker into emotions in order to understand the person's position or how they're likely to behave. In his third slide, he's got SE, which makes him doing as a role function. And in fact, he is very much a doer as a role function. He's constantly looking to do stuff. And then in the fourth slot, he's got TI, which is what he uses when the other functions don't come through to solve a problem, or what he uses when he needs to for specific work tasks, stuff like that. It's not as good to function. He doesn't need it to be. He's effective primarily through the modalities already discussed. Now, look at the ENFP in contrast. The ENFP starts with NE as extroverted intuition in the dominant slot. This is going to make the ENFP, in some ways, like me, similar to me, Abraham, in some ways, but unlike me, they're not going to be abrasive or argumentative or appear uncaring. One of the issues that Abraham is naturally going to have with an ENTP is he's going to think that the ENTP is not showing enough care or caution with other people's feelings. And sometimes he'll call him out on it, that kind of a thing. So the difference with the ENFP versus the ENTP is that the ENFP follows up with FI, which is a much more wishy-washy judging function. And so they don't roll into every occasion ready to throw down because they're not particularly clear on their opinions or anything. What? Oh, good night. Kiwi sauce. So, hold on. I'm getting a lot of feedback here. Okay. Well, so the ENFP, they are going to be, as I indicated, less confrontational than an ENTP, even though they're going to have a similar production of a bunch of possibilities. Now, for you, with NI in the second slot, you're going to be pretty comfortable with NE in the sixth slot, reasonably comfortable with it anyway, even though it's unconscious. So that's going to work well. Like you're going to sort of admire that in the sense that you don't get it. It's not conscious for you. That any. What's that?
What do you mean by NE?
Okay, so extroverted intuition is the dominant function of an ENFP. And we refer to it as NE, but extroverted intuition is its full name, and it basically is the process by which individuals come up with new possibilities. They make odd links between things and combine things in such a way as to make something new out of it. And new possibilities in general. So an extroverted intuitor is somebody who's probably going to talk a lot, or if they're an ENFP, maybe not. But they're going to have a lot of ideas and a lot of perspectives. They're going to be not somebody who's at a who's at a loss for other interpretations. And especially with the judging function of FI in the second slot, they're going to be uncertain about what they think or feel about a variety of things. TE is their role function, like your role function is SE. So those two are going to coordinate well together because you want to do shit, they want to get shit done. that's basically the difference between SE and TE, right? They want to do shit, you want to get shit done. So that's going to coordinate well. Now, note that their seventh function is going to be TI, and your fourth function is TI. So neither of you are going to demand the other one to do much work in that particular area, and that's going to be good. It's a weakness for both of you. You'll both avoid that area in general when hanging out. You aren't going to spend a lot of time saying, let's do Sudoku problems. So, and that's perfectly fine, you know. And that's one reason why you probably get along reasonably well. And then the other one being simply that because you're both up there at the top with N's and F's, and it's kind of like you complete that miniature set, like you got all the versions of Charizard or something, you know. That's going to be satisfying. But I think your relationship with ENFP is the same fundamental. It's a mirror relationship, and that mirror relationship, like a mirror relationship with Zachary and me. So for you, ENFP is like Zachary to me, and for you, INFP is like Corey to me. And that's why your friends are ENFPs and INFPs, Coach Abraham. Thank you for the very good question. And thank you at home for watching Talking with Famous People. The television show that you've always dreamed of seeing is finally here all the time, forever. It's your lucky day.